didn't really want to share my story. That wasn't the point of this page. I don't really go around talking about it. But the allegations are triggering and annoying. The brief rundown is that I married my narcissist. In fact, I'm still legally married to my narcissist because I am terrified to file for divorce and have him figure out where I am. I left 8 years ago. I've been no contact for 8 years. I don't plan on breaking that for any reason. Did I ignore a lot of red flags in the beginning? Yeah. But he was a love bomber and he put on the charm. He was good. He had game. I gotta give him that. He had game. He got me. He even played my child. Because, see, I went into that relationship with a baby from a previous marriage. He bonded with my baby. Another way he trapped me. Before I knew it, we were in a full-blown relationship. Blink again and we're living together. But I gotta stop blinking because then I was pregnant. Then the baby died and his solution was to get me pregnant again. And he did. And everything was fine. Everything was dandy until I gave birth. Well, at least I thought. I didn't know what was going on behind my back yet. He refused to let me name my son. I picked out alternate names for a boy, and I picked out names had he been a girl. But my husband rejected all of those. And he named my kid after him. Then, when I was in surgery having a tubal ligation that he forced me to have, he decided he was going to circumcise our son against my will. They let him do that because he was the father. I had just had a newborn and stomach surgery and came home from the hospital, and that's when the mask fell off. Thankfully, my mother-in-law was there to help after I had my son, but he wouldn't help with anything and started acting like I was being lazy and a bad wife because I wasn't up cleaning the house and cooking for him. His mom called him out on his bullshit, but as soon as she left, the shit hit the fan. The first time he ever put his hands on me was at my own birthday party. That was fun. Then it became a regular thing. Usually unprovoked. Usually I was just sitting there watching TV and then it would happen. Fabricated fight out of nowhere, and next thing I know I'm being hit with something. Oftentimes his fist. This one time in the middle of summer I thought I got the flu right because I'm puking everywhere. Don't know what happened. Didn't have a fever or nothing. Just throwing up uncontrollably. Next morning I wake up, I try to eat breakfast, and I'm shaking so bad I can't even get the spoon to my mouth. Then I throw up everywhere. I have a seizure. My husband woke up. He took me to the hospital. I remember being in the truck, and then he said that I had another seizure, and then I woke up in the ICU. My husband wasn't there. I don't know where my husband was. I know that the cops were outside my door. I could hear them. I could see them. And I could hear them telling my mother-in-law that no one was allowed in there. I also heard a nurse tell another nurse that they weren't supposed to tell me because they didn't want me to freak out, but I had been poisoned. And one time, with my son in my hand, he grabbed me out of our truck and threw me to the ground in front of all of the neighbors. Another time, he decided that it was a great idea to not only break my nose, but he threw me into a bathtub and broke my back, and that's why I'm currently at home on disability, and it may end up being permanent disability because I still haven't had the surgery from it. There was another time that he beat me senseless for days, held me hostage in my bedroom, refused to let my children see me, burnt my marriage license and my child's birth certificate in a pot in front of my children, and told them what a horrible person that I was, while he was holding me captive in the bedroom and refusing to let me eat or use the bathroom without supervision. Then I tried to unalive myself because my only escape was to end up in the hospital. Then they wouldn't release me to his custody. Then there was that time where he choked the life out of me and said that if I ever tried to leave him, he would kill me. And he tried. He tried 3 times. Then when I finally left, he found me. He showed up in the babysitter's car. The babysitter that he was sleeping with behind my back, who was also pregnant by her husband and married, yes, married, an 18-year-old, and he was 30. He stopped me, and he tried to keep me from leaving. Thankfully, his ex's family intervened, and I was able to get away. I fled the state with my kid, and he still had my number. He threatened to come to the state that I'm in now and kidnap my son and unalive me. I've been no contact ever since. I've had to deal with a lot of therapy. I got misdiagnosed and put on medicine that I didn't need, and a diagnosis that I don't really have. I have a broken back and permanent trauma, and traumatized children, and a fatherless child. I didn't want to share my story, but there it is. I wasn't the narcissist, and there was none of my shit to get sick of. I put the world at his feet, and he beat the crap out of me for 5 years, abused my child, and tried to unalive me, even after I left. To add insult to injury after I left, the mistress posted pictures all over Facebook wearing my clothes that I left behind. And to pour a little more salt on the wound, they had 2 children together. And he gave both of those children the names that I wanted to name my son, that he wouldn't let me name him. Both the girl name and the boy name that I wanted to name my son, he gave his 2 children of separate genders. So I promise you, I'm not the narcissist.